question is what caused that. It's the choice you make. And I don't know if you heard that saying, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you
I
are what you
will.
eat, right?
Yeah.
And
So like if you eat
that's
like jelly
it.
babies, are you a jelly baby?
No.
New Year's. I know some people were in Dubai, you know.
Yes,
Who said
I saw this.
who said niggas were in Paris? Hey?
You know,
Yeah, niggas in Dubai
Niggas-
give you a name that's they're like, oh,
You know-
Tofeni, my Habibi.
but,
Wait, what does Habibi mean? It means
So
my
it
man.
means, no, it means my love.
Oh, okay. I was
Oh.
also
It means
pocket watching a little bit, like just pocket watching as to like what people are doing with their money and all of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Also, just being on your phone, like you kind of like also start to think about other things, like, hey, how's my algorithm? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that like, can like one get stuck in a certain algorithm? Is going on a coffee date as a first date still a thing? Like,
girls as well,
Yeah.
is that I've got girls that have their dating sites and do their dates, but the problem is an expectation
Mhm.
that if I've taken you out for coffee, okay, we're vibing, we're getting along,
Mhm.
now we're gonna hop into bed together.
Yeah.
Go
but why
along.
do people give it up over a cup of coffee?
No,
bro?
no.
Like,
No.
Buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches. By all means, good day, good morning, and good evening. You are now tuned into The Realist, The Raw Takes itself. I'm your host, TP, aka Kobe. You know what it is. We get to it. Muchas gracias for joining us, and we can only hope that we can give you a good show. I am joined here by my humble, amazing co-host, the wordsmith himself, the slow cooker, the chef, wisdom in human form. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
Tuafeni here. Welcome to the Raw Takes.
Yeah. What episode are we on today?
All I know is that it's the first episode of
The first, yes, that's the first episode of 2025.
25, yeah.
I think it's episode 14.
Yeah, episode 14.
Yeah, welcome to episode 14. We have a special guest with us, you know. New year, new guest.
But she's been a friend of the podcast. Like,
She's been a friend of the podcast. So finally we were able to like get a date, and then she's here with us. And yeah, we hope we can give you a wonderful show. I'll let her introduce herself.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. So my name is Hasina. I am originally from South Africa and also here in Ireland. As well, I'm friend of the Raw Takes podcast, as well as I'm also a podcast host of the Teapot with Hasina on Spotify. And yeah, thank you so much. I think it feels different having to be on the other side of the seat now.
Yeah, it's so real.
So it's amazing. I think I'm looking forward to this, really. But thanks, guys, so much for having me here.
Make sure you check out the Tea podcast as well.
The Teapot on Spotify. So it's the Teapot with Hasina on Spotify. And we just basically navigate the raw authenticity of life journeys. So it's very much personal journeys from expat life, work, navigation, work culture, work market, parenting, solo parenting, relationships, anything and everything around travel and fitness. So yeah, basically a complete deep dive of things.
Yeah, and I've noticed that you've been on like a fitness journey. You've been like you're trying to like catch people, and you're like, hey, you see, you guys who have this mindset of I'll eat bad, but then I'll just work it. Like, how does that work? How does that concept work? Because in my head, I was like, sometimes I have that mindset of maybe I can just, as long as I go to the gym. I should be fine, because like I can get away with eating,
unhealthy
a
but like,
little bit, yeah. So how does that work? Because I saw you had it on some of your stories, so I wanted to just ask, how does that work?
So most of the time people have this mindset of, and I used to be there, I'm guilty of that as well, right? Is that I will start every Monday. I will start every first of the new month, or okay, wait, next year's coming, I can start New Year. Because what generally happens is we stay inconsistent. We start eating like, okay, every Monday, then we start from Monday to Thursday, we eat really well. Come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then people are going out, and then they start sabotaging their nutrition.
Yeah.
And they have this concept that if I go out, I'm not able to eat what I want to eat. And they feel like, okay, cool, I can, Monday to Thursday, I've been good, it's great. Give me some sort of leeway just to eat a
relapse
certain,
sort
yeah,
of,
you
yeah.
relapse for a
Yeah.
whole weekend. And then out of the lot, it's about, I think the way I calculated it, it's like 208 days out of the whole year. And then there's like 156 days or some 154, 156 days, which you have eaten so bad.
Yeah.
So you're literally undoing all the progress you've been trying to achieve in a year,
Yeah.
and you're still not seeing results. So the question is like, you are self-sabotaging your own nutrition. It's nobody else's personal goal. It's your personal goal. So people come back and they say, oh, I haven't made the progress I wanted to in the year before. But the question is, what caused that? It's the choice you make. And I don't know if you heard that saying, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you are what you eat, right?
Yeah.
And
So like if you eat
that's
like
it.
jelly babies, are you a jelly baby?
No, like not even, guys. Like not even. Like,
Okay. I'll give you like yeah.
and it's important, like it's what you consume, right? I'm not saying
Yeah.
like people have this thing that, okay, once I start getting into fitness, I have
Yeah.
to start eating salads, or I have to start eating just my proteins, like I have to cut out sugars and carbs, and like you don't have to cut all these things out. All of these things are so crucial to your nutrition, and people also mistake that nutrition is not just what you eat. Like
Yeah.
nutrition forms part of the things you talk about, how you talk to yourself, who you interact with, what you
Yeah.
listen to, what you read. Those all form part of your nutrition. Your relationships with family, friends, children, your parenting, your sexual health, your overall health, overall your work-life balance, how you manage your stress, your anxiety, your burnout. Do you suffer with burnout? So it's all part of your little facets of nutrition.
You speak about more of that on your like Instagram as well as your other platforms. We'll
Yeah,
also like link them down so that
I do.
but I like how we actually started the pod on some self help. Let me put some applause. Yeah, shout out. That's nice and sweet. And I think I just wanna also cover in terms of like festive, in terms of like how was your New Year's? I know we already covered the the Christmas, but yeah, how was everyone's New Year's? I know some people were in Dubai, you know.
Yes.
Who said
I saw this.
who said niggas were in Paris? Hey?
You know,
Yeah, niggas in Dubai.
niggas in Dubai.
Yeah,
Yeah,
niggas with multiple stamps on their passports. You know.
definitely, man. I think
How was Dubai, bruh?
Dubai was amazing, man. Like, it's just a nice way to close off a good year.
Yeah.
And 2024 was really a good year.
Yeah.
With the pod, with the people, with growth as well.
Yeah.
That I wanted to make it more memorable in a way that this is how I close off my year.
Yeah.
And something just popped up, and there was like, come to Dubai, and I went to Dubai.
You went to Dubai.
Yeah,
You enjoyed it.
Oh, baby, come to Dubai.
I feel like I had expectations.
Did they give you a name? That's they're like, oh, Tuafeni, my Habibi.
But like, I went to a place.
Yeah.
Where.
Wait. What does Habibi mean? It means my
it
man.
means, no, it means my love.
Oh, okay.
It means
Take
my
that
love.
back.
I actually
Take it back.
didn't
But
even
like-
know.
Take it back.
but like-
No, but like
obviously the
it's
guys.
very like Dubai, like
Yeah.
everybody. It's like welcome.
But like, why do
welcome.
people then just say Habibi randomly? Like
So,
people
like,
just say
It's a
Habib.
cultural thing.
It's
It's not.
So in Arabic, Habibi means my love. But the funny thing is, like, guys will even call their bros like
Habib.
Habibi.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
or you'll call your parents Habibi or
Yeah.
whatever. But with the woman, again, it's
Yeah.
like, it's Habibti, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
like the woman is Habibti and
Yeah.
the guys is Habibi. And
Yeah.
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
No, I was saying
So it's Tofeni Habibi.
yeah.
We're giving you a new
Yeah.
name. Your middle name is Habib. No, I'm joking. You
I
were saying?
accept, but
You accept?
no.
Pause.
No, listen.
Okay.
Dubai is just a
Yeah.
different experience.
It
Yeah.
is.
You need to accept that this is how the people are like.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you are coming there with like a mentality of like where you are coming from, like it will slow you down because you need to experience it as a whole, right?
Mm.
And like you meet different people from different places.
Mhm.
How they perceive Dubai is not how maybe the locals perceive it, you know? Like everybody's going there because they feel like this is the place that makes dreams come to reality, you know?
Mm.
And the feeling of being there is just like amazing. I won't lie.
What else did you see? Was there anything
There's a
intriguing?
lot. I'm not gonna say now because
Oh, wow.
I was mind blown from different perspectives. Even the things
Yeah.
that no.
Even the R-rated stuff, but it's
Yeah,
fine. It's
yes.
fine. We'll leave that for
Yeah,
another
but I would
time.
say
We have a
Dubai
guest, so
is
we're
a
gonna
must
behave.
experience for most
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how was your New Year's, Christmas?
Mine was so chilled.
Yeah.
I was super chilled, guys.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of content in the background because I had to try and build up some content and market related content around athlete age movement.
Okay.
And I tried to catch up with some Netflix as well. I'm huge on Christmas movies as well.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of quality time as well with my kids.
Yeah.
So it's just been chilled.
Yeah.
Mm.
And basically just starting the year off on the right note.
On a right note,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think just
Yeah.
self
No,
growth, like
definitely.
self growth was a big thing for me going
Yeah.
into the new year. So
Yeah.
I wanted to just focus on making sure that I'm going into the new year hitting some goals that I felt was important. you know.
No,
And
definitely.
yourself, like how
was my
like,
New Year's?
New Year's, but festive. as well.
My festive was I guess good, nice in a way, because it was the first one away from home.
Yeah.
In a different country. So went to London with you, and then you ditched me and went to Dubai. But yeah, we forgive you. And then so I had to spend New Year's this side in Dublin. Actually went to a club. I actually bought like 2 tickets to like 2 places. Then I was just hopping between them, but it was nice. It was nice to a certain extent. And then I was like, but I won't lie. Most of the festive, I was also like on my phone as well, like just looking at what people are doing, and I was like, hey, like just looking at what people are doing back at home, because but I also realized that this year, like people are not spending as much.
True.
Like you look at, hey, right, like a lot was happening on social media, like even people doing TikToks with their grandmothers. I'm like, hey, can you let your grandma relax?
There was a trend of like going to the village.
Yes,
showing the side of your life when you're in the city.
People think Christmas is the one time where people are okay with where they come from.
Yeah.
Like they just start showing where they come from, and you're like, oh damn, like you've come a long way.
But one thing I've seen this year's from this festive season is that most of the content popped out after New Year's. Like it's not like people were like making noise during the festive season. Most people were like, "This is what I was doing."
I saw it on Christmas and towards the end of the year as well. But once it hit Jan, like people just stopped showing where they were and all of that stuff. But yeah, people were with their family, so it was nice to see.
True.
I was also pocket watching a little bit, like just pocket watching as to like what people are doing with their money and all of that. But yeah, I think like also just being on your phone, like you kind of like also start to think about other things like, hey, how's my algorithm? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that like, can like one get stuck in a certain algorithm like for a very long time to a point where, let's say, for example, if you're depressed or whatever, and you start watching depressed videos, or you're going through a breakup and you're watching like those type of videos, is it possible for one to just get looped like in like just one thing for a long time? I don't know. I felt it. I felt it.
I think so, man. Like when like I look at my own algorithm, because
Yeah.
at this point, an algorithm is a personal thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that's adjusting to you and what you want to see, you know. But like, what the question is always like, is this what I really want to see, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes the algorithm thinks, yeah, I seen a video about this thing, and then I want to see it all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And it leads to some bias of somewhat confirmation bias, because like,
yeah, it's confirmation bias.
yeah. So you see the same thing repetitively, and you're like, yes, I want to see this.
Yeah.
But like, is it really like what? Because like, remember, like, these things are like coming into your mindset as well, and coming back even to your resolution, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you see something repetitively, even like post, let's say, January to February, it's actually gonna affect like how you think.
Yeah.
So yes, algorithm is really like affecting.
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing. I got stuck in mines, and I found that what do you call this? I was having to watch, like, I saw this video on YouTube where it was like puppies that have human heads.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah. Dogs that have human heads.
Yeah.
And then like what I do is, whenever I see a funny video, I always go to the comments.
Yes.
They're like, "Oh, that's Snoop Dogg's family." And I'm
Yeah.
like, how is Snoop Dogg now getting related to all this? And then I also like, there's like a lot of, like, let's say when you go to your Discover, like, you see a lot of beautiful women, right?
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, some of the women are starting to look like AI, and they'll even have an account that say that there's this person AI, and I'm like,
maybe this one
now,
is
like,
just, at this point, the algorithm is lying to you.
like at this point, like, but I also feel like there's people who are playing into it, like, who know that maybe you like this type of thing, and they just, you know.
And they do. I mean, they do that. It's what you put into your feed, right? It does impact you. A good example was that I came across as well, and I'm guilty of that as well. Is that I came across a post, and for some reason, I liked it, and I thought, okay, great, great quote.
The algorithm
And
likes to
next
see that.
thing,
You like it, you see it.
It's like to see it, like that's what she wants, right?
Yeah.
And tomorrow, like, it's a tomorrow thing, and the next day, and the next day, I keep seeing the same post over and over. And last year, when I found last year a great year and also a challenging year, but whatever I was going through in that moment, whatever I was reading, was also contributing to trying to heal and emotions and stuff. And as I was watching these things, I realized, like, whatever I'm going to consume, whatever I'm going to read or listen to, even if it was music, right? Whatever music I was listening to is what also alters your subconscious. And that is that is so important, because your mind is an algorithm of its own. Think about it. Because if you looking to look at some fitness type of thing, like my feed, for example, if you go into my feed, my feed is filled with travel, with fitness, and then I used to have things like with parenting hacks and stuff like that. But most of the time, it is only travel and fitness that you will come across on my feed, because those are like, I want to see where I want to travel to, what are people doing, where's the next best destination. And then fitness, it's like keeping up with the trends. And I think this is what people do, is your algorithm goes based off either what you search for in the trends or what is trending now. And then the second thing is, sometimes you go out looking for something that's not really trending, and it pushes out a different frequency. So that's why I say it's your subconscious mind of like, okay, I thought about this. Let me type this in, because your thought is literally a frequency that you're sending.
My feed is full of AI baddies now.
Really? Wow.
No.
My feed is full of like AI baddies, and then like puppies, and then like just like jokes. Like guys, like people that I watch that are like, just make me funny.
Interestingly,
like, just make me laugh.
For me, I love my feed right now.
What do you have?
I'll mention now, but like towards the end of the year, I was looking for certain stuff. Travel was number one. Like, especially as soon as I confirmed Dubai, I started looking at a lot of Dubai stuff, right? So like, still my feed is leading me to Dubai again.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like I'm mad about that, because like I was
Yeah.
looking for stuff to do and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was a tick for me.
Yeah.
But like, also travel content is high up there for me. Like, just destinations I wanna see. When you see them on TikTok, you are like, you see the different perspective of them.
Yeah.
That you actually want to go there more, which I actually like about
Yeah.
that aspect. So like, it also triggered into me that I can actually control the algorithm if I want to a lot more, if I'm more intentional about saying like, this month I wanna see cars because I wanna buy a car.
You want to buy a car? You have money, eh?
I mean,
Nah. You should give me.
it can
some
happen
of your
anytime,
money.
you know.
It
you
can
know?
happen. Oh,
But
okay.
What I'm saying is that one
you got
car,
it, bro. You got
that
it.
one car is starting to show up on my feed, and I'm like,
Which
thinking,
is it? Is it that
I'm not
Dubai
gonna,
car that
no,
you
I'm
saw?
not gonna mention
Because
anything.
he sent me a picture of a Lamborghini. Is this?
No, not that,
my
not that.
Nah. Okay, cool.
But like, I'm starting to be more intentional about what I want to see.
Yeah.
So like, there's travel content on my feed.
Yeah.
There's a project I wanna do this year.
Yeah.
Just a personal project.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I've been looking at more content on that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What's
That
this project?
it's like building something.
Okay.
Yeah, building something. But like, I'm seeing a lot more content that I resonate with. Like, real, like someone popped up on my feed that's doing the same project at like ahead of me. But like, they did the whole journey of how they started and how they are going.
Yeah.
So like, it's very beautiful to see that, oh, you actually started like this,
Yeah.
and then you build up to this,
Yeah.
and then now this is where you are. So I can actually like
amazing.
start like that. So like, when you see that, you're like, actually, sometimes we fight the algorithm saying that, you are looking at berries, but that's what the algorithm is actually recommending.
No.
You know?
Leave my AI berries alone. Bruh.
No.
Leave my AI
No.
berries alone. Whoever's creating those pictures, continue, my guy. Now,
So like, I'm saying,
nah, I'm joking. But
no.
like, I think looking at this whole thing, like, as much as you can control the the algorithm at the same time, there's also that aspect of like, you can get stuck in it in a sense that
true.
there's a lot of people who don't know how. There was a point where they didn't like Trump.
Yeah.
Just giving you an example.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, Trump is now the president.
Yes.
How did that happen? It's because of algorithms, messages being pushed, information being pushed into there. There's something that I saw where it says that there's a lot of people that don't know that they haven't discovered their favorite artist, or they haven't probably even watched the movie their best movie, because of how algorithms are set up.
Yes.
The fact that that Betty that's popping up on my feed was liked by 10,000 people.
Yes.
It pushes it to me to say, TP,
Yes.
we have something for you. You get me?
True.
And sometimes I don't even want that.
Yeah.
You get me?
True.
So it's not as easy as you might make it seem like it is. It's not as easy to get out of an algorithm issue. And my only problem with the algorithm is that you never get to discover things that never came to your brain. Like, let's say if you never ever thought of going to Dubai and you were just living in SA, like, you'd have to see someone else go to Dubai. But if the algorithm was set up in a way in which it also gives people that factor of, this could also be something that you would like, and not just a matter of, let me just feed you whatever you're into right now, and now you just end up being in this loop of this mindset. But that's just how I see it, though.
Confirmation bias.
But hey, shout out to the AI Betties. You're killing it. Anyways, there's something that I've been thinking of, like, in terms of like whether this thing is still a 2025 thing or whatever. Maybe I'm not enjoying it nicely, but is going on a coffee date as a first date still a thing? Like, if it's a guy, you're looking at a chick and you're like, hey, maybe I'm interested. Let me put it this way. I'm interested. And then maybe you want to go on a first date or whatever. Would you say that a first date is still a thing in this day and age? And like where we're in, where things are becoming, materialized, aesthetic. I don't want to say too much.
No. I get it, but
do you think that a coffee date still, it's still a thing, or is it something that we're gonna leave in the past now? Is it a
I see.
Are we killing coffee date as a first date, or is it still there?
Not even if it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay, at least for me, I think we are moving in a way where preference, whatever you prefer, is taking precedent. Like you don't need to follow like the norm of or how a date should be like, And I think that a coffee date, how you make it, also determines like how the outcome can be like, Because like if
No, but at that stage,
Mhm.
it's not you are at the stage where you are about to like ask someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Even
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like you can go to a coffee date and it becomes like a good ass date.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you're just approaching to ask,
Yeah.
is it like
Still-
do you think you would get that date? That's my question more.
I still think the same that
Mm.
like for me specifically, like I'm very like I like to go to nice places, for example.
Mhm.
And I think there are coffee places are becoming very aesthetic that the same feeling you can get from a dinner date, if that's the word, is the same feeling you can bring to a coffee date, because aesthetic feeling, it doesn't even matter what you're getting anymore, that you can make it so wholesome that a coffee date for me is still a tick, like I can actually make a coffee date make work.
Yeah.
At least for me, yeah.
Okay,
Or should I
so
go first?
I think you go first.
Yeah.
Go first.
Yeah, before she kills us, because that's she's a sniper.
Yeah.
This is what I think, right?
Yeah.
I think that coffee dates, and
Yeah.
I'm not like I honestly think that coffee dates are done for
Uh-huh.
in a way.
Yeah.
In that if you, because for me a coffee date feels like a trial, like you're putting someone on trial.
Casual kind of.
Yeah, it's like why, like, because it's a question of like, okay, does this person have to like leave their house to meet up with you so that you can trial the fact that you still like her? You get me?
Yeah.
Like if you like someone and you are sort of in a position where you're like, I'm sure and I want to go for this. For me, I'm like, take her on a proper date. And I'm not saying that you should pay like exuberant amount of money or like, you get me. But you can always do something like simple, whether it's an activity of like bowling, and then after you get like a few drinks, or you go to
Mr.
like
Lover Boy. Continue.
certified lover boy in the building. Yes, sir. If you need any advice, call me on.
Okay.
Nah, I'm joking. But I'm just saying that there's always things to do. Like you can even go, like even going to like play pool at like a bar where they have pool, or like doing simple things, right?
Yeah.
To show that you actually
Intention.
yeah, you have more intention. For me, a coffee date feels like an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see a coffee date. So like if you are the guy and you like a chick, or like you like the girl, why are you interviewing her? Like go to like a serious, like not serious, but like do something where you will actually see your guys' compatibility, and not just you looking at someone and saying that what's your favorite color, and then you're just ticking those boxes in the background, and you're like, yeah, no, she likes purple, I don't like purple, I don't want to see, you get me? But
Yeah.
I feel like you need to, like nowadays, even from the girls' perspective, and I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of girls our age or women our age, because like we're old, right? Women our age
Yeah.
that will want to leave the house
For
to
a
go to
coffee date.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah.
No,
I'm one
So
of them.
yeah, no,
so
them.
yeah.
But
You can jump
even
in.
before she goes,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
still think like depends on the stage where you are also in the relationship.
Yeah.
Not like because sometimes yes, you are at the stage where you wanna show full intention, right?
Yeah.
And definitely you wanna step up and show someone that my intention is not a coffee date, But at the same time, sometimes it's not even it's a start of what you wanna see in someone, right? And you are just wanting to feel casual yourself, that you don't really wanna bring your best dressing out or whatever it is.
Why?
No, because you want
So
to.
it's because you're not sure.
No. It's also that.
Yeah, it's
also
because
that
you're not sure with
you're
the
not
girl.
sure, but
And that's where I stand to say, why are you going on dates with people you're not sure you're interested in?
which is
Like,
reasonable
you
grounds.
get me? Like, why are you
Yeah,
going
which
on
is
dates with people you're not interested
reasonable
in?
grounds. But
Yeah.
like you can kind of be sure, but you wanna feel casual as well, right?
Yeah.
Casual in a way that you wanna like express yourself in a way that you are not really over the top,
Yeah.
that a coffee
You want to seem like you're humble.
no, it's not about
Okay.
humble. Like
Okay.
it's about the feeling of a coffee date is just me and you and we're just conversating, right? Because I want to see who you are,
Yeah.
Because sometimes a person brings out their best self because it's a date,
Exactly.
Oh, okay, I get what you say.
So like you just wanna, and I'm not saying it's for all times, it's for when you wanna tone it down and you wanna see the person as they are.
Okay. So my question now is like, you would then you saying that you would advise a guy like to say, okay, if you're not like, look, you like that chick, okay, chap. I think that for now, maybe go on a coffee date.
I could say that.
You can say that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I also wanna hear now.
No, I
As in the things.
like I agree with both of you. Like your approach is great. But I think everyone has a different approach to what a first date should be.
Yeah.
Right. Some prefer a dinner date, some prefer a coffee date. You get some people that just prefer to do the talking stages. It all depends also, and also it depends on how did you connect with this person. Did you connect with them in person? Have you grown up with them? Have you seen them? Are you familiar with them? Did you meet them on a dating site? Did they slip through your DMs? Those kind of things.
Yeah, some of you be sleeping through the DMs.
You know what I'm saying. so there are those things.
Why are you making that face? It feels like, are you one of those guys? Please.
Are you slipping through the DMs?
I'm not gonna deny.
It's
I'm not
real
gonna
men.
deny, but
You reel them in.
Yeah.
okay.
But it's true. Like I personally look. I'm not one for the coffee date thing, but again, some girls like it, right? Because one and look, hear me out. I don't do it. Some would, and I think the approach is great because one, it's an inexpensive approach.
Yeah.
You're getting to know the person. You're trying to establish a connection. Okay. And some people have, like, I find that maybe younger girls who's going out, they get the hype of like dressing up. I'm going on a coffee date because it's fun, and they get to dress up, and it's the hair, the makeup, the heels, the whatever. I was in my 20s once upon a time also as well, where I was like, my younger 20s, and I'll be like, okay, cool, like the hype is there. But again, I'm also the type where I'm selfish with my time.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at in my life. And it comes down to where you're saying it's where you're at in your life, is that I'm selfish with my time. I prefer to rather make my own cup of coffee, sit on my couch and Netflix, instead of like having to do hair and makeup only to go out for coffee for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I still need to pay for coffee. Am I paying, or is he paying? And then I have to worry about, is it going to be one of those 50-50 split the bill kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be, if you cannot like pay for this, like it was a waste of my time,
Yes.
right? So I know there's a lot of controversy around this topic as well, where people are like, should you split the bill? You know, because
Oh, yeah.
then it's done and dusted with a
At
coffee
a, at a
date.
date.
At a date.
Okay, first date I wouldn't split the bill.
Never.
That's just me.
I think more.
But
Yeah.
also,
It's a red flag even for
but
many
also,
niggas,
just
yeah.
to say something, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say 29 and above.
Uh-huh.
Nah, first date, coffee date should be like
No.
like.
You know what I
But
say?
also at the same time, I'm opening room for who might do it. Like
Yeah,
if there's
exactly.
people like you can like,
but
get it
like,
off.
Like
Get it
actually,
off. Yeah.
the thing is, it sends a message also,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It sends a message of, if I invite you for a coffee date, this is what it's for.
The coffee, we're saying it's cool.
Yeah.
The people can still do it.
Yeah.
People can still do it.
People can still do it. Now I'm just looking at the aspect of like the splitting of the bill. Yeah. For me,
as a man,
first date, I wouldn't split the bill.
bro. Like even
maybe she could take the tip, but I wouldn't necessarily split the bill.
I'm very intentional on
but I
that.
won't
Like
split the bill.
splitting the bill, bro. Like, why are you making her split the bill? With
Especially
you?
for a first date, I don't
Bro,
see
like,
it.
Okay, so like for me, I don't believe that you should be splitting a bill at all when it comes to a woman.
So
right?
all
Not
the dates,
not all your dates. You don't. If you are man enough to say, I want to take
we're gonna
you
have
out.
an issue now.
No, I know we're gonna have an issue, and I know a lot of people are gonna comment on this, and whether it's negative or positive, we don't know. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of these conversations and topics that were so relevant, especially in 2024, right? That yes, in today's world, nowadays, it's that women have become so masculine that nowadays we're just swiping our cards now because we know already it's either he's not going to pay shit, so let me just swipe my card, or
have you had to pay for your?
I've
had to split your.
No, not split the bill, but many of the times I'll put it like this. I don't know what it is like to be placed in my feminine energy, right? Because I'm always someone either didn't have cash on them or money on them or whatever the case may be.
And you went to the date.
And I don't think we'd say it was a date, like, and I'm talking now like post
like dating phases.
I'm talking about like when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
When I was younger. It would just be that because I was always young and independent and working and stuff like that. And they would see it as it was great. And at the time when you're younger, you don't think anything of it because you're in your Miss Independent phase, right? And you're in your hyper independent phase. But the thing is, as you get older, it just becomes a thing of, and like I think post divorce as well is where I started to realize as well. Look, I also haven't gone on dates. Let me just clear that. I haven't gone on dates or I haven't gone for coffee, but I was in a relationship with someone, right? So even though it was long distance, he paid for something and I would pay for something. But there wasn't a thing of splitting the bill. He also wasn't that type of person.
So he paid.
He paid.
Yeah.
He paid.
Shout out to him.
But, so there's that difference there. I think where it comes in today is that all relationships, not all, some have become very transactional. So that's what I'm saying is like, there's this 50-50 split the bill, 50-50, if I say, let's go out here. Okay, you wanted to go out here, well, let's book a holiday here. This is how it becomes.
But
someone
if
pays
one
half,
person
whatever.
is paying, isn't it also transactional?
It's transactional. Everything has become transactional. So people have lost the plot of what it is to connect with people nowadays. So like I personally, I don't know about other women, but I'm not going to be phased about what your favorite color is or the color of your eyes or the color of your shoes and favorite socks and whatever. Like I could not care. Like I want to talk about like the growth, the goals, the ambition, the drive. Are we going to vibrate on the same frequency? That kind of things. Let's talk about business mindset and growth together, because that's where we fail as people. Instead, we just come together every time for coffee or for dinner dates. And that is where people are like, oh, we don't do this anymore. We don't do this anymore. And, you
mean like we don't go to dates anymore?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you have to be mindful of like, if you are setting a precedent of like, I'm taking her out for a coffee date the first time, you're going to have to remember there's an expectation. For some women, there won't be an expectation. For some women, there will be. But it will come down to like, okay, he's taking me out for coffee on the first date. What is he doing for the second date? Is he taking me out on a picnic? Is he taking me out on a dinner date? Are we going away on holiday? Is he booking travel? So those kind of things, it works differently for everyone.
But like for me, my question in there is that how do you draw the distinction? Because sometimes, okay, with a man paying for the bill, there's a distinction of a man being a gentleman, which is most of the time, like you are being a gentleman in the relationship. When you go out on a date, you pay for the date, right? And there's also transactional, like real transactional kind of situations where you think like, I'm paying for a lot of stuff, also extending to shopping, because like there's those kind of situations, right?
Yeah.
That sometimes men gain that ego of I'm in control because
Yes.
I do a lot more,
Yeah.
and then there's gentleman. Gentleman is just being a gentleman. Like,
Correct.
that, I cannot be on a date and I'm making her
Still
pay
paying.
for anything,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's just that thin line of gentleman and
But also at the same time, I think there's a like, sorry to cut you, but
no,
like,
I'm done actually. So continue.
okay, I was gonna say, being a gentleman,
Uh-huh.
like you being able to pay, I don't think makes you. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you a gentleman if you
Mm-hmm.
pay stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're just also just you as a guy, you are taking on that role of providership, which you were called for on this earth.
Yeah.
Either
But
way.
I
So-
still sum it together. Provider, gentleman, whatever it is.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
The
yeah.
Like the
characteristics of it.
characteristics.
characteristics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Well,
cool.
because there are men who would be like, we're on a date, like pay, like just find some funny vibes,
Yeah.
That's just out of character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the character of being a gentleman includes like providing,
Yeah.
showing that you can provide.
Showing
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah. So like I'm separating that character away from, bro, like there are some men who walk into places and think because I took you on a date, you owe me something.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
But that's why a lot of women don't do these coffee dates, right?
Yes.
So because there's an expectation that, okay, if he's taking me out for coffee, he's expecting me to do something for him.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, and I've heard this from a lot of my girls as well,
Yeah.
is that I've got girls that have their dating sites and do their dates, but the problem is an expectation that if I've taken you out for coffee, okay, we're vibing, we're getting along, now we're gonna hop into bed together.
Yeah.
And that becomes the transactional exchange,
Yes.
right? And then after that they get ghosted or whatever the case may be or whatever. And I've seen this happen over and over and over with a lot of girls that I know. And I can understand now why a lot of them are also not doing this. But I think what women are also trying to understand is why men do it, right? I think there's still a lot of that to figure out as people go
But
along.
why do people give it up over a cup of coffee?
No,
bro?
no.
I can't like
Yeah.
like
No.
like. Okay,
But
right.
this is the thing, like, and this is the argument I have, is that with a lot of girls, like, look, I've had a very long journey of my own,
Yeah.
like, going through divorce and stuff, but I never went on dates. I never did that whole let me go meet people kind of thing. I had one person in my life after divorce, and that was it. And but I was in a relationship. It wasn't like, oh, it was a one night thing or anything like that. It was a complete long distance.
Yeah.
Didn't last very long. But that being said, it was the case of what I see women doing nowadays is that also energy is a big thing.
Yes.
You have to remember that I can't just go out on coffee dates with so many people to see who I'm going to establish a connection, because every time I'm going out or getting ready, it takes up energy and effort, right?
True. Yeah.
So it means like if I'm going to go there and this person's got a shit vibe about themselves, I'm going to absorb that energy and go back home, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same. Like I've seen, people also that they either get into bed with people after their coffee dates.
Yes.
And when I hear this, it's like horror stories. The problem there is that you are exchanging energies. You're exchanging energies. You don't know this person. You don't know these people. So that's why I say it's like, to get to know a person on a coffee date, what is the ultimate connection that you're trying to establish? Like, what is the verdict?
Yeah.
It's become an interview nowadays. So
I'm just gonna shame on you if you're giving it up after like a coffee date.
it's disgusting. I
I'm
know.
sorry.
But
That's a shot.
each to their
That's a
own.
shot.
Each to their
You
own.
know.
I
I'm not
suppose.
judging you. I'm just saying.
We,
Yeah.
we don't. We what's the thing?
We listen,
We
but
listen. We
we
don't judge.
Yeah.
We listen, but we
You
don't judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but this also brings into scope for me the thought of like
Yeah.
dating in your league or outside your league, right?
Oh yeah.
So like sometimes we overestimate or underestimate.
Underestimates
Yeah.
ourselves. Yeah.
But like sometimes it's also like a thought of, is this person in my league or out of my league? Yeah. And I wonder what you guys thought process on dating in your league or in outside your league is like, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can date outside your league, but like you know that this is what you bring into the scope. Yeah.
I don't know. Should I go first?
Yeah, you can go
Yeah.
first.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
My perspective on dating within or without your league,
Yeah.
I would say that personally I've dated outside my league.
Yeah.
I've dated within my league.
Yeah.
And also lower.
Yeah.
I think that generally I don't think there's a formula to it, personally. I think that also at the same time, sometimes you might be overcritical of yourself.
Yes.
In a sense that you, because of maybe something that a friend or someone might have said about you, or not even about you, about where you guys are in,
Yeah.
then it makes you think that you don't deserve a certain thing for yourself.
Yeah.
You know? And you don't know how that person perceives or what they want in their life. Like look at Rihanna and ASAP Rocky.
Yes.
Had ASAP Rocky been there and thinking that, yo, she's a billionaire and all of that, but you don't know what that person actually wants in their life and
their
what
core
the core
values.
values
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think when you date someone, you should actually think of materialistic things,
Yeah.
and because of then after thinking of that, be like, oh, I can't date this person because. But also at the same time, I'm not disputing that they are like, there's people who are materialistic.
Yeah.
There are people who are materialistic. We've seen them on social media and all of that.
Yeah.
So you should also know that, okay, this person, if this person is exuding this personality of, I'm materialistic and I want this, then it could affect you to be like, maybe I shouldn't go for this type of person.
Yeah.
But I'm always gonna leave room to say that maybe this person doesn't know that maybe they don't know what they like, because people are very open if you actually think about life. Like, yeah, that's just my thought on it. I don't think people should out the gate be thinking I should date in my league.
Yes.
Okay. Like that's just my opinion.
The question I have for both of you, right, is like, we keep saying the league or out of my league. What, I mean, it's such a broad context. Like, in what context? Like age brackets?
Yeah.
Are we talking about cultural wise? Are we talking about being in the same
Okay,
country?
I was thinking finance.
Yeah.
I was thinking finance.
Or finances?
I was thinking
You know,
finances.
age bracket, like I say,
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
is it where they are from? Are they in the same country as you? Are they long distance or in a separate country?
Okay.
You know,
you just added more dynamic.
so out of your league, as in
She's
what?
killing it aside.
As in what?
Again.
So I think it's very important. Like, okay, so
a lot of the
that's
standard is always income, right?
Yeah.
Most people, right? Like they think income is the first benchmark of my league. Sometimes someone is earning higher, or maybe they could be earning like you, but income tied with dressing and how they appear and whatnot outside your league, right?
So outside of your league, then for most people, right, it would even be a thing of, Is it physical attraction?
Yeah.
Is there chemistry of some sort? Is that what makes it out of my league? Is it the status, the wealth, the way they style themselves, the way they carry themselves, their personality, etc., right?
Yeah.
So you can have, let's say you have two model looking like people,
Yeah.
and they are models and they're gorgeous and they're stunning.
Yeah.
So how do you determine between these two people, whether it's male, whether it's female, how do you determine who fits in your league? Is it a type, like, some people say, oh, you've got a type.
Yes.
And you sort of attract a certain pattern based on what they look like, or you've got a certain type based on the pattern that you attract from their personality traits or their characteristics. So I think in that sense, I think the question is like, should you be dating out of your league, right? I think it differs from person to person, to be honest with you. Depends on what you're looking for and what connection you're seeking. Because like you say, there's a benchmark of status and wealth. So if that is ultimately what people are looking for, what about all the other components that fits into what it is you're looking for? Because at some point, if you're saying, can I date out of my league? You date up until what timeline or time period before you realize this is not sufficient for me. I'm looking for more. So I think in this instance, it's not even a thing of like, oh, we have a checklist or something. Like I personally, I have requirements now. Like you've got to come with certain things.
Yes.
And I know what I'm capable of contributing. You should know what you're capable of contributing. Like I always say this thing of like, don't come with potential where I feel like I got to fix you or something. Come potential. Potential is not a word, but this thing of like, and likewise, a guy would also want that in a woman as well. He's looking for certain qualities and characteristics in a woman, right? So there's certain things vice versa that we look for.
Please, sorry.
So
yeah, it was playing in the back of my mind. Thank you so much.
I think for me, outside my league or whatever it is at the extreme end. Like if I'm saying someone is out of my league, is the extreme end of maybe they are way too older than me, That's the extreme end. Or maybe they are way too ahead of my career. That I what like I'm not trying to impress someone that's way too out of my career, Or like let's say how they dress is way too out of my league in that sense. And I'm using way because like sometimes someone walks into the room and you're like, maybe I'm not really trying to attract or talk to this kind of person, and that's way too out of my league. But like normal things, sometimes you think someone dresses well and they talk well that I cannot represent myself at them. Like some people think like that.
yeah.
But actually that person is looking for the most humble, kind, smart person they can find in the room. And that's all their criteria is. Nothing like how you dress, nothing how your body shape is, how you look, whatever it is.
And isn't it like was it Oprah? I don't know if it's Oprah or who. They dated their driver, and they've been married with their driver for like a long time.
Yeah, but it's possible because the criteria for me may be in that sense of out of my league is way too out of my league. And that's true also. Like someone walks in a room and you can just see that their appearance is way too out of your league. And appearance I just mean like stuff that maybe you might know a little bit more information about the person of what type of people they go after, that you're just like not in my league,
Not my cup of tea.
not my cup of tea. Yeah,
Not my cup
you can
of tea.
even put it like that.
Back at the teapot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's true. Like some successful relationships are based off not okay because she was out of my league or she was in my league or he was in my league or out of my league, right? It's and I see a lot of this, and I questioned something like this the other day, is that a lot of men find it intimidating, or women will find it intimidating, right, to be with someone who is quite strong. and they end up going for the weaker male or female.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to that whole self-limiting belief that, okay, I am only capable of having such a person in my life.
Yep.
I don't think I'm up there, or I'm capable of, manifesting or attracting or deserving. Exactly.
I don't feel like I deserve.
I feel like I don't deserve this kind of person, this woman or this man, etc. But what people fail to realize is that you can actually, like, for example, let's say you have this well-educated man or well-educated woman, and you feel like, okay, like you said, I haven't progressed there with my career, right? But she's there, he's there, whatever. Some people don't take it as, hey, I can learn from them. In actual fact, they can mentor me if that's where I want to be. But also, you can't, some people compete and compare, right? And you cannot make that the whole thing about competition and intimidation. And eventually what happens is egos become bruised. Male and female's egos become bruised. There becomes unhealthy competition. You realize that you're not worthy or deserving of such a person or a certain type of love that you feel you deserve, because you feel like, it's out of my league. It's not within my league. So I need to look at something that is someone I can be familiar with. But the problem is you end up choosing people, and why I say it, you can either choose someone that is toxic for you and not change the pattern because you are familiar to what feels comfortable for you, right? Not realizing you actually do deserve more. So it depends on how you want to perceive it, and how you reframe the experience of what is out of my league and what is within my league. So I think it differs, again, like I say, from person to person. So I don't have a complete yes no answer.
Yes, no answer.
And it doesn't have a yes no answer.
I thank you guys for watching. You'll catch us next week, same time, same place. We'll see you whenever, wherever. We'll always be together like Shakira.
Nice one.
Okay, cheers.